Thanks for joining us. I wouldn't say I don't normally get nervous, but this is maybe something new that we've been working on at Orion, and the product is a content product called CourseKit. So consider yourselves privileged. You're amongst the first people that this has been shown to. And we're very keen, as we go through to explain a little bit why we came up with the CourseKit initiative, to show you examples of it. We do have an exclusive offer as well for everybody attending today. You have the ability, as we go through, to ask questions. Hopefully some of them we'll answer as we go through. But CourseKit is really centered around easy and flexible ways to deliver essential training online. And we're going to talk to you about how it differs to some of the options that maybe traditionally would have been available to an organization who's considering moving things online. My name, for anybody who doesn't know me, is Gavin Woods. I'm the Client Services Director at Orion Learning. We're the creators of CourseKit. So Orion Learning, we're a full-service e-learning partner. We create custom courses. We help people with their e-learning strategy. Really, we like to think we're problem solvers and advisors. We are, if you're on Twitter and you're big into your tweeting, we do have a hashtag Orion webinar. But what we're going to cover today, we're going to look at what was our starting point. Where was the beginning world that made us sort of think of something like CourseKit, and part of that, what are the what ifs that we heard from our clients and that we also asked ourselves. We're going to show you an animated video, and that'll explain CourseKit. I would say better than we can, but we did write the script for it, so it'd be interesting to see if it does explain it the way we hope. We're going to look at some of the key features. We're going to take a closer look at one of the examples. We're going to show you the Fire Safety Essentials course, and then we're going to look at how different organizations, depending on where they're starting, can use CourseKit in different ways, ranging from using it as an off-the-shelf product through to some sort of launchpad or starter for a heavily customized course. One of the most attractive things, we're going to look at the cost levels and explain a little bit how, from our experience, that compares to other options. And as I said, we're really keen to get your feedback. It's a new initiative. We're still flexible in that we can change things, shape things to the feedback that we receive from the likes of yourselves. So be interested in any questions. So we'll talk about our starting point. Things like CourseKit, I suppose they're based on experience, they're based on talking to organizations, and they're based on expertise. They don't, I suppose, just appear out of the ether. So our starting point is that we've been helping very prominent organizations across all sectors, public sector, charity, both in UK and Ireland, and increasingly further afield, to really pick the best content options for them. So for some, that's been developing custom courses. For some, it's been helping them with strategy or e-learning platforms. So if you are generally looking for advice and support, we're more than happy to come and see you, more than happy to have a conversation. But if an organization came to us, in a pre-CourseKit world, there's broadly two different options, two most common routes to deliver content, particularly compliance content. One would be off the shelf. So you might have heard of off-the-shelf catalog or off-the-shelf courses. So typically it is as it sounds. You receive the course or you have access to it. It's maybe not tailored to your organization, but maybe the costs appear attractive. So maybe 5, 10, 20 pounds or euros per user, typically annual subscriptions. And it is a bit of a stack it high, sell it low approach. So not always, there are a few exceptions, but typically we found that the quality of off-the-shelf options, they're always a bit generic. They maybe weren't very nicely designed. They maybe required you to sign up for a subscription. They maybe appeared cheap. Let's say you had 300 users and say £10 or euro per user per annum. That would be 3K in year 1, 3K in year 2, 3K in year 3. Next thing you know, you spent 9K over the lifetime of a course that maybe hasn't changed very much. So typically, you say you might have some options, but typically you had limited options to tailor it for your organization. Now we have some projects we offer off-the-shelf content, and for some projects it is the best option, be that for budgets or time. But I think there's a little bit of a myth about off-the-shelf, that it's cost effective, because as I say, things can soon add up over time. The other side of the spectrum is custom content, would have been the other main option, and very much still exists as an option. And as the core of our business, I'm not going to talk you out of custom content, because I think it's a great way to get a really tailored, interactive learning experience. You do get a little bit, you do get what you pay for, and the development does take time, be it weeks or months. It's maybe better suited to company-specific topics, whereas an organization who wants to do some general awareness training might be better suited to off-the-shelf. But for example, we developed a custom program recently for Queen's University Belfast, and they wanted to do an equality and diversity program for their students. They wanted everything really to reflect Queen's, the scenarios to be exactly based on the students' experience, and custom content was the best option for them. Equally, we've offered off-the-shelf titles to other clients just based on the circumstances. So, but there were some what ifs. Each one has its merits. Neither one was ideal in certain respects. So the what ifs that came out of that we were asking ourselves, but also we were hearing from other people. What if you could get a better quality course than a generic off-the-shelf, and maybe even at a better price? Something that's a bit more transparent, had maybe a greater level of graphic design, as well. What if you could use it off the shelf, but you could also tailor it for your organization? Because that's something we found that actually most off-the-shelf products didn't actually deliver on. They probably had a bit more bark than bite when it came to their flexibility. What if it was yours and not something on lease or license? You bought it and it's yours, rather than you're buying access, but you know what, we have to do health and safety training every year, and it's going to cost us every year. What if there was support and options if you needed them? And that's what really led us to CourseKit. And it's really something that's trying to sit between those worlds of off-the-shelf and custom. So we're going to play an animated explainer, and then I'll explain a little bit more about the product. But this will give you an introduction to CourseKit and really what we were trying to achieve.
So you've decided to move some of your essential training online. Smart idea. What are your options? You can purchase something off the shelf, only it never feels like it hits the mark, and those cheap annual costs will soon add up. You could build a custom course. Sure, it takes some time and looks great, but it can be an expensive habit. Now you're dreaming of a better world, a world where your learners can be engaged without it breaking the bank. Where courses come ready to use, but allow you to change things, add things, tweak things. There are no strings, no subscriptions, just a one-off cost. Dream no more. You have discovered the world of CourseKit. A new way of delivering essential training online that gives you the best of both off-the-shelf and custom options in a way that's flexible, affordable and engaging. Each CourseKit comes packed with up-to-date content and built-in assessments that are ready to use. Change it as much or as little as you like. Brand it, expand it, it's yours to own. Feel like you now have better options? Great! Visit CourseKit.co.uk and get in touch to request a preview. CourseKit, the easy way to deliver essential training online.
Okay, so hopefully you're able to see and hear that okay. I'll just head back to our presentation here. So say CourseKit's really focused around what we've called essential training. We didn't want to call it necessarily compliance training, or there are compliance courses in there. We're going to show you the CourseKit website so you can get a feel for some of the other aspects about the product. Because we're going to put in some slides, but we've deliberately made the website simple so that you could see that. on the page. So what is CourseKit? Well, as you heard in the video, it's centered around customizable online training. So it's a suite of courses that have a good level of graphic design, good level of interactivity. They have assessments built into them. You have the ability to use them, as an off-the-shelf product, but really maybe the power comes in the ability to tailor it. Whether you do that yourself or you ask us to do it for you, we'll come on to that. In terms of the courses that we have available, our first 5 are ready to go. We have Equality and Diversity Essentials, Fire Safety, Health and Safety, Information Security, and Manual Handling. And we have plans as well, so it'd be interested to see, if you have any suggestions, if you want to make them to us about courses that are worth looking at. But currently we're planning to do well-being, customer care in a work skills section. In terms of healthcare, leveraging our extensive expertise in healthcare, first aid, infection control, clinical governance, hand hygiene, COSH, quality improvement, and safeguarding. And then in terms of management, we have induction, email management, time management, effective communication, project management, and managing people. So say the first 5 are ready to go. The rest are scheduled. In terms of customizing CourseKit, I'm going to come on to this a little bit more, but say each comes ready to use, but you broadly have 2 options. Either you make the changes or we make the changes for you. In terms of some of the features, CourseKits are about 30 minutes long. They have an assessment, has a pass mark currently set at 80%, but again, we could tweak that for you. They have responsive design, so they're designed using the articulate storyline authoring tool. So they do produce, if you're familiar with e-learning standards, they produce SCORM 1.2 and 2004 content versions, which you can use on your own learning management system. And we also have versions in Articulate Storyline 2, Articulate Storyline 3, and 360 as well. They do use an illustrative design, and we'll take a closer look now at one of the courses. So this is looking at Fire Safety Essentials. It might take a couple of seconds to load up for you. So the content is, in part based on our experience. We are looking at getting the content validated more by sector bodies than, we could get CBD credits. I'd be interested to see if you think there's value in that. We maybe find there's more value in getting a content organization to validate it, perhaps such as the fire service. Designed to be usable across different organizations, but if you wanted to customize, you can change colors, we can change buttons, you can add content, you can add resources. You can really do it as much or as little as you like, and we can provide options for that. But in terms of what's covered in this course, it takes around 30 minutes, and at the end you can do the assessment. It's really about your role in fire safety, identifying fire hazards. We've deliberately at this stage not gone too far to include specific legislation. We do work across different territories, but it's a very easy thing for us to add in slides on specific legislation in a topic, for your relevant territory, or for you to add that in yourself. But you have the ability to add, as many resources as you like. So for fire safety might be your fire evacuation procedure, your any other documents, resources, PDFs. Okay, so we have our 4 topics within this and our assessment. So take a look and show you just some of the slides. So the courses do use an illustrative approach, but if your organization used maybe a more real-world photo approach, it's something that we could tailor. All the interactions are designed to work really well across tablets, and the content will work on phones as well. Probably best enjoyed on a phone in landscape mode, but it will work on portrait. So we have clickable headlines. We have a use of characters throughout. Again, you can click on, see your role in fire safety. Again, we have processes as well. Move on to fire safety hazards. in terms of preventing fires. Again, with clickable aspects. So deliberately kept the interactions relatively simple, so they'll work really well on touchscreens. This is a hotspot interaction, maybe a slightly more complex slide where you can select different things within the office. So is a clock a fire hazard? Well, if it was, I think we'd all be in difficulties. But we have an overloaded socket here, and again, you have a little check that shows you where you've looked. We have the on the floor, the water cooler. It's not a fire hazard. So, but interaction maybe representative of some of the more active slides within the module as well. So you can have additional content added, and you could change the on-screen content. You could have your resources coming up. This is a slider interaction. Skip forward to the assessment. So you could have, again, you could have a bigger assessment if you wanted that. We have multiple answer questions in here, and they're drawn from a question pool as well. And you can respond to the questions. Hopefully I don't get it right in going through very quickly. Yeah, well, that's a good thing to see. We've fired through the assessment and we've got none of them right, but it would generate that you were complete. Okay, so we talked about maybe people using CourseKit, one or more CourseKits in different ways. So trying to think of the different circumstances certainly that we encounter. So let's say you've been tasked with moving some training online and you want to get something up and running straight away. Well, you can purchase your CourseKits and you can start using them immediately. So you can use them as an off-the-shelf product. Skip forward to the last point in this table. They are designed that they will operate on a learning management system. So a learning management system, for those not familiar, is typically used to deliver and manage and track to say, Gavin went in today, he did the course, he passed the assessment. So we'll generate reports in a learning management system. If you don't have a learning management system, it would be possible to take the CourseKits and just to run them on your network. The only benefit of having a learning management system is that you'll have that particular tracking against individuals, which can be good for compliance purposes. If you don't have a learning management system, you can say use without tracking, or we do have a range of options again that we can add on for those who require it. Let's say maybe your organization is already using Articulate Storyline. I know a few people have actually gone through some of our capacity building training that we do. So you can purchase CourseKits, you get the source files, and you can edit them as much as you like in-house using your copy of that tool. And I say we have Articulate Storyline 2, 3, and 360, which is basically the online version of 3. Let's say you want, you like the look of what you're seeing, but wouldn't it be great to have our, our logo and our colors and add our policy in here, maybe add in a few more questions, maybe add, our particular slant on a particular topic. Well, we can cost and make those changes for you. So we do offer everybody the ability to have an online account where you could preview the CourseKit, you could try it out yourself, get a feel for whether it's something for you, if and how much you would want to change it, and then we provide you a document to note your changes, and we make those changes for you in a quick turnaround. If you maybe would like to customize in-house, but you've never done anything like that before, you're new to e-learning, but say the costs for us to do it would be reasonable, but obviously you can save money doing it in-house. Well, we can provide the add-on of our capacity building training and maybe give you some advice and support around developing content in-house generally. If you have a really particular vision, let's say something like fire safety, well, it's given your organization type or use case that it's really important that you do it in a certain way. Well, maybe if we speak to you that designing a custom course for you is the best option, but there could also be efficiencies in using CourseKit as a starter pack for a course and cost savings in doing that. So we are offering in the webinar an introductory offer for attendees. We're offering 15% off for purchases between now and the end of October. So 15% off of the price of CourseKit, and that does bring us to the cost, which is probably one of the best things. So if we consider those two existing options off the shelf, say typically priced 5, 10, 20 pounds or euro per user per annum on a subscription basis, you're certainly talking into the thousands for a reasonable sized organization per year. But even say 10 euro at 200 users, that's £2,000 per annum. But if it's compliance areas that have to be redone, you could be talking 5, 6K and upwards. And we would argue maybe the quality it wouldn't be the same as what would be offered in CourseKit. And the design and the flexibility. At the other end, we have our custom courses. Now, probably our lowest custom courses have increased over the years, and we would probably start at around 8 to 10K figure, but we also develop courses ourselves, go up 30, 40K depending on the particular requirements. We'll show you where CourseKit comes in at a price point. Now, the biggest thing to stress at CourseKit that we tried to stress in the explainer is that you pay once, regardless of the size of your organization or the amount of users, so you don't have to worry about that. You pay once and it's yours to own. You don't pay anything else. The reason I stress that is because most people we speak to are surprised about that. So one CourseKit typically is $1995 starting. 3 courses, you get a bit of a discount, $4995, or if you want to take all 5 of our existing course kits, it's $7995. So that's for unlimited users. So that gets you the source files of the and the SCORM files of the off-the-shelf product. It's yours. You can run it on your learning management system. That's straightforward enough to do. That's something your LMS provider or your in-house team can do. You use it, you're up and running. The intro offer with a 15% discount reduces that to $1695 for one course kit, $4245 for 3, and $6795. So we compare that back to some of our off-the-shelf and custom options. It's far below a custom course. Obviously, it's not the full extent of a custom course, but it's certainly hinting more towards that end of the spectrum. And even compared to off-the-shelf, if we take our either 200 or 300 staff at €10 or pounds, you're talking 300 at 10, $3,000 per annum, $9,000. Whereas you could get 5 courses instead of one course. You get 5 courses that are yours that you could use for 3, 4, 5 years. If you want to make changes to the courses, we have a quick package. It costs £300 to change the colors and the logo for you, and we'll give you the file back looking a little bit more like your organization. If you want to avail of training, we have a link on the CourseKit website to our capacity building services. Typically our training starts at £900 per day, but we can train you in the use of an authoring tool and specifically how to tailor your course kits in-house if you want to do that. If you need other options or other questions, we can provide options for that. So I think that's one of the most attractive things is the cost price, that you're getting a decent product. Even if you were to use it as an off-the-shelf, it's decent, looking products, good interactivity, and it's ready to go. But the real power, I say, comes in the ability to tailor specifically to your organization. So we're keen going forward to see organizations using it and really radically changing it. We'd like to be giving out prizes for the best CourseKit courses, maybe based on the content, but either we've changed the look and feel, or other people have done that in-house. So this is some example just of the home page. We changed for Action for Children, who are an existing client of ours and are now using 3 of the course kits. The ability to change, in terms of the branding, the fonts used. Now this is just a simple example the homepage, but even to get the logo in, to change the template slightly, to change the buttons, etc. So the way that we've built CourseKit, and obviously being highly familiar with the tool that it's built in, is to use some of the master features where they have the ability to change colors on certain sections. In addition to that, Action for Children changed content on different slides. We're able to upload their resources for the courses that they used as well. So obviously we've answered some of the things, can we customize it? Can we edit it? Can the CourseKit team make changes for me? Yes, yes we can. We will send you a preview of CourseKit. We'll also send you a document to capture your changes. Do you need a learning management system to run? No, you don't, but it is recommended if you want to track and report on CourseKit completions. If you don't have an LMS but you're keen to learn more, then we're more than happy to help you. Can you sell it to others? We've had a few inquiries already from training providers. The short answer is, well, the immediate answer is no, that CourseKit's designed for use within the purchasing organization only. But we always like to think we're flexible, so we're more than happy to have a chat. If you think it's a great option, either for a group of organizations, we could do something for you on the cost, or maybe you're in a charity consortium, for example, or you think it's a great option for your clients. We're happy to have that discussion. Is there a licensing fee and ongoing costs? No, there's no licensing fees, recurring costs, so it's a one-off fee, as we said. So that's something that's typically quite different to current off-the-shelf models. You can purchase single CourseKit, or we have our discounted bundles as well. We do plan to have preferential options as we release more CourseKits over the coming months for existing clients. There's no limit on the amount of users, and can you preview them? Certainly, and we'd invite you to maybe get in touch with us either through this webinar or follow up by email via the CourseKit website. We set you up with a 14-day preview of the required course, and you can have a look at them. With that, I'll wrap up. Any other questions, you either post them, we'll stay on for a couple of minutes, or we'll be happy to speak to you. We'll certainly be happy to tell you a little bit more about CourseKit or answer any outstanding queries that you have. Thanks a lot for attending, and have a good afternoon.